The importance of the monarch or government of power enforcing property rights relates to a variety of countries and kingdoms throughout history. Stuart states in relation to the Germanic Merovingian kingdom, which existed for 300 years from the 5th century AD, the state structures arose with the installation of officials, dukes, and counts, who were assigned land. But it must be stressed that this property was not open to inheritance, he says. He continues in relation to the 7th century AD. Free retainer warriors ruled the country with the duke, creating large courts, and huge contributions of land for outstanding services gradually formed the basis for some rather loose form of property rights. It was not until 770 that the first known instance of inheritance rights over fief, and thus marks the beginning of continuous property rights, he says. So, towards the end of the kingdom, Frankish aristocrats acquired the land of diverse and scattered Germanic tribes, and, to continue on with his statement, the lease in question paid the war bonds in land, i.e. property rights passed into their hands, but with an inbuilt form of dependency on the king, and with the proviso that the right to hold the land was for a lifetime only. It was not inheritable, he said. The source of property rights in the kingdom lay not with legal rights nor spiritual rights, but with the enforcement of monarchy and government. I hope you've gained something from this short series on property rights. Property rights forms the whole basis for our modern day ideals of property ownership, and particularly private ownership. When we're valuing, it is important to be able to understand what those property rights are that we are undertaking an assessment of, and to understand the foundations for them, what makes them enforceable, or maybe otherwise. I do think that it's worthwhile revisiting the development of these property rights that we've seen in this short video series, and understanding how we've come to our property rights of today. All that's left to do now is just to give you some references for the material that we've covered today. My primary source has been this book. It's shown in the credits. It's a book by Richard Slatter called Private Property, and particularly the History of an Idea. The book was written in 1951, is out of print, is not available in the TAFE library. You might be able to find it in a second-hand bookshop or in one of the online bookshops, but it is quite a rare book, but it's a very good book. However, all is not lost, because a very good friend of mine, Dr. Franklin, what should I say, Professor Franklin Obenga-Doom, has written this article, Property in the Commons, Origins and Paradigm, in which he basically does a bit of a summary of that book there. This is downloadable for free and worthwhile having a read of. It'll be in the links, and you can just download it for free off the relevant website. Also, I've used this book here, Dr. Murray, Principles and Practice Evaluation by Dr. J.F.N. Murray. Again, this book is out of print. It hasn't been in print for a long time. However, it has been scanned into the TAFE library, and you can download it through the library, and I would recommend chapter 1, which gives you quite an insight into some of the backgrounds, not of only property rights, but also of valuation. Have a good time learning about property.